Welcome to another episode, everyone. And we're going to head to Indiana State Maximum Security Prison, where they house death row inmates, further illustrating that if you live that life, it's not always that you go on the level 1, 2, 3, or 4 yard. You can end up on death row. Heart-wrenching footage here. These people are waiting to die. Imagine sitting there waiting for someone to put you in a chair that's going to shock you to death or stick a needle in your arm and exterminate you. Let's get into it.
You strangled people. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I mean, I could kill a person and just go out to dinner. I don't care.
He said he can kill a person and then go out to dinner. He don't care. Okay.
Be shown a brand new death chamber in a prison where no one's been executed for 8 years.
Damn.
This is where the condemned man will have the final moments of his life.
That's eerie right there for me, just looking at that, thinking about that. You go lie down in there under heavy guard, they strap you down here, and what? Stick a needle in your arm and this is crazy, man.
It's a clear signal that the state of Indiana fully intends to execute the 11 murderers on death row. I was here 5 years ago, but I've never been able to forget these men and their terrible crimes. And this could be my final encounter with them.
I killed a cop, right? And when I was younger, I took pride in that. Like, dudes say, that's Richie, he killed a cop. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mr. Bear, we meet again.
They like to call me a baby raper, child molester. And I didn't molest no child. I killed a woman and her 4-year-old daughter. And I regretfully did that.
Since my last visit, a lot has changed. The prison is almost unrecognizable, caught in the grip of a rampant drugs epidemic.
There's been a number of deaths, suicides, there's been a couple of murders. I've never seen this institution like this, just wow.
And the latest man to arrive on death row is a serial killer.
So you killed a greater number of people than the police know?
Oh, yeah. They might have a tenth of it. I'll put it that way.
You guys be safe.
Welcome back to Indiana State Prison.
Sheesh. Death row, the new arrivals. Yeah. This is haunting shit here, man.
Today, Warden Ron Neal is making his regular visit to death row.
Good morning, good morning.
Inmates here are isolated from the rest of the prison population.
Today we have 11 men here on X row. You might remember, Trevor, some of these gentlemen since you were here last. Fred Bear.
Yes, we certainly talked to him.
Right, Fred.
So they were right there when he was there 5 years ago. They went nowhere. They're still there and it's on that same row in those same cells. Years later, just waiting to die. Now, of course, clearly, these people have committed some horrific crimes for those who are actually guilty. I only say that because statistics show that maybe 1 out of 4 people that were executed on death row come to find out they were innocent. And one innocent life is one too many. But this dude just admitted to unaliving a woman and her 4-year-old daughter. So obviously an unforgivable, dastardly crime. He's about to suffer the consequences. He has been suffering the consequences, living like this for many years.
He's a big talker. Obviously, he's very fond of his cat.
And Mr. Ritchie?
Ben Ritchie.
Any new arrivals?
Mr. Gibson.
Yes.
108. And Mr. Isom at 120.
So we're heading into death row itself now.
Yeah, this is the actual cells of death row.
Jeez.
These men all live with the knowledge that one day they'll be told precisely when they'll die. For the time being, there's a hiatus. Manufacturers are refusing to supply the drugs for lethal injections. Should they become available again, first in line to be put to death is a man who has been on the road for 15 years, Benjamin Ritchie.
Okay, you've been there for 15 years. So you hear what he just said? That manufacturers are refusing to issue the drugs that will unalive these people, that will kill these people on death row. So, conscious people who are, anti the death penalty, what have you, doctors, they're refusing to send a medication that's going to take these people's lives, saying, maybe feeling like their hands will have blood on it as well if I send a medication. Whatever their reasoning is, this is why these people haven't been executed yet, because they're refusing to send a medicine. But as he said, should they reverse their position and start sending the medicine, then this would be the first man to go here. Been on death row for 15 years. Let's see what he's accused of, or what he's admitting to, or what he did.
When we last met, he described the mad moment that sealed his fate.
Well, my crime is shooting a police officer and killing him. If that bullet would have hit just half of an inch lower, he'd be alive today. And I'd probably have a long, lengthy prison sentence, but I wouldn't be on death row, man.
Mr. Ritchie, how are you?
Pretty good.
We meet again.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I wasn't quite sure whether you would be still here when we last.
I wasn't either, and it was pretty close now, right? I could get a date at any time, but ain't no companies, thank God, are gonna sell this place any drugs, you know what I mean?
What do you think of that? Is that a source of hope for you about some change to
Hell
your...
yeah. I hope to go to population,
So in the general prison population?
Yeah.
What has life been for you since I last saw you?
Shit, man. All kinds of stuff's happened to me, man. I just got my visits back. I lost one for about 2 years.
What happened?
I was having sex in the visiting room.
You're not supposed to do
He
that.
was getting in it, He said, you're not supposed to do that. He said he was having sex in the visiting room. They took his visits. He said that with a big old smile on his face. Though I ain't mad at it. What the hell? What does this man have to lose? He's first in line to be executed for executing a cop. What does he have to lose? Hell yeah, he in there having sex. He on his way out. He don't give a fuck. But he trying to get to the main line now, as he said. This dude said, you're not supposed to do that. No shit.
It was worth it. It was the best minute, 30 seconds of my life.
Really? But, I mean, you knew...
Damn right.
consequences would be.
It was worth it, he
I knew
said.
what I was doing. I knew a little blind spot here or there, you know what I mean? And in the zone. It was worth it.
They got some big sales. Not that that's any consolation prize, but I'm just saying, in general population, the sales are nowhere near this big in any prison. Or not in California anyway. But these are some big sales. I don't see a TV. I'm trying to see if that black thing right there is a TV or what they got going on right there. But these are some big sales. But, so what? Your days are numbered. And that's all you can think about, I'm sure. Sitting here in these cells, you can't eat or sleep properly, knowing that any day your number is going to be called for them to put some medication in you, put you to sleep, and you're never going to wake up again. That's heavy.
She's bad, bro. Like Victoria's Secret model type bad.
The last time we talked, you talked about relationships on the road here. How's that? How are they?
Same situation still down there.
You got a cat in there?
Like, I hate that dude so much.
You're talking about...
What the hell?
Yeah, Susie. We call him Susie.
Yeah, he got a cat too.
Because he's like a sweet, like...
Damn, they got cats up in there. I ain't never seen no shit like that. He had a cat up in there. And now this dude got a cat right here brushing the cat. Damn. I guess they, they trying to give him something to get their day, get through their day every day, knowing that they're just, it's crazy.
A a Suzy Q. We used to have him on commissary like a little cupcake. And he's soft like a cupcake, right? I hate him so much, but I don't want to see the prison kill that dude. I'd rather see him in population getting the shit stabbed out of him or beat up for what he did, you know what I mean?
Do you know Mr. Gibson downstairs?
Yeah, I know him. That's my old buddy. He's a Now that's a real serial killer.
Why do you say that?
Look at his case, man. That old man's been doing it a long time, you know?
William Clyde Gibson has the perverse distinction of being the only serial killer on Indiana's death row.
In April 2012, police discovered Christine Whitus dead and mutilated in Gibson's garage. Gibson is charged with 2 other Floyd County murders, and one is a decade-old cold case.
He's a dangerous man who I believe, given the opportunity, would do this again.
He's never spoken publicly before about his conviction for killing and mutilating the bodies of 3 women.
He got a TV.
We've got the camera crew today, Mr. Gibson. Do you have a minute to talk to these folks?
He's a bit crazy. We can see that, as far as I'm concerned.
5 years ago, but you weren't here. I didn't meet you then. How do you get on with the other guys on the road?
Fine. There's a couple of them I could kill and wouldn't think a thing about it, but you know.
Maybe it's not wise for you to say that.
Yeah. Why it's not wise for him to say that? He's on death row. What's gonna happen? He don't give a damn. He asked how he got along with everyone there. He said, I get along fine, but there's a couple of them here I can just kill, you know. Like he just talking like he just going to eat a burger or something. This dude's fucking bananas, man. Look at his smile. Look at his, oh man. Spooky.
Oh, they know. I told them already. I mean, you know, it's just what it is. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Do you have any regrets about ending up here as you have?
No. None. I know I'm a piece of shit. I did the things I did and I knew what I did. So, you know, it wasn't like I didn't know it was coming. I just wish they'd gone and did it.
It's a strange thing to hear people say that they're waiting to die or quite willing to speed up the process.
I'm sure when it comes right down to it, I won't want to go. You know, that's obvious.
We'll be around for a few days. I hope we can see you again.
All right, that'd be fine.
Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
Damn.
Today, the entire prison is unusually quiet. On my last visit, these recreational areas teem with prisoners. Not today. The facility is on a state of high alert. The tension is palpable. So Captain Boyan escorts me to C Block, the largest cell house in the prison. Almost all the 400 inmates here are convicted murderers serving long sentences. For weeks, they've been confined to their cells for 24 hours a day. It's lunchtime, but you'd never know it. No one is allowed out.
516 is a special class rate.
Captain, why is the prison in lockdown?
We had a string of medical emergencies. We call them Signal 3000s. And we believe it was due to overdoses on K2 or spice, which is a synthetic marijuana.
How bad did the medical emergencies get?
At one time, we had a weekend where we had approximately 40.
Damn.
40 in one weekend?
Yes.
And how long has this prison been in lockdown in this state?
Currently, it's been a month.
A month?
Yes, sir. They're locked in their cells all day, except every 3 days, we will escort them to the shower to shower. But anytime they come out of their cell, they have to be handcuffed and escorted.
And they cannot do that in California anymore. They used to be able to lock you down for years. Yeah. I've been on lockdown for years before. But now they changed the law where they can only lock you down for 2 weeks at a time. But then, they sort of circumvent the law or go around the law. The officers, the administration do, because they lock you down for 2 weeks, then let you off a lockdown for 1 day, because they have to let you off after 2 weeks, and then they lock you back down, for another 2 weeks. But just keeping you in your cell for a month and counting at a time. But you see what he said, 40 overdoses or medical emergencies based on this synthetic marijuana, this spice, and this stuff started entering the prisons right when I was leaving the prison. A few months before, it started entering the prisons, and these dudes is on that nonsense, and they hallucinating and falling out, doing all kind of crazy shit. Some of you all have seen some of these videos of these people that are incarcerated, that are locked up inside of their cells, get off of this stuff that he's referring to, and they're in there going crazy, swimming like fish and doing all kind of nonsense. I've seen some of these videos, but it is an epidemic there in prison, or a pandemic, if you will. And but being locked down like that for a month and counting, they oftentimes, the administration will use the excuse that they're trying to clean up the place and look for this stuff, but it's still going to be there, man. So just get on with it.
Hello, what's your name?
Christopher Pavey.
Christopher Pavey. And how long have you been here?
A total of 30 years.
Damn.
You've been here for 30 years.
30 years.
And have you experienced lockdowns like these before?
In my whole entire prison sentence, there's only been one time that we've been locked down as much as we've been locked down now, and that was back in the 90s. The situation that we're going through right now, though, we've never experienced this.
Have you seen people get distressingly ill from spice?
Yeah, I've seen a dude die from it.
Yeah.
Seen a guy die.
When was that?
About 4 months ago.
As we looked on, prison staff were called to yet another medical emergency nearby.
Damn.
This man would eventually be returned to his cell. There was no explanation about the cause of his seizure. But the talk of the prison is the lockdown, and to that, there is no end in sight.
Well, he could have just had a damn seizure, man. I don't know, But you see that he ain't asking what his crime was, but the dude been in there for 30 years. But obviously, Indiana state, their prisons are not like California prisons, because he said this is the very first time he's experienced something like this. Being on lockdown, he's been on lockdown for 1 month. He said this is the first time that they have experienced that. The only time they've been on lockdown for that long was one time before, out of this 30 years, one time. They've been on lockdown for over a month or what have you. And that was in the 1990s. So yeah, the system is different.
On death row, Frederick Bear's crimes have made him the most hated man here.
Am I a cold, sadistic murderer? Where I cut a little girl's throat? A 5-year-old girl's throat? I love kids.
I can still recall the afternoon he told me about the murders. High on drugs, he broke into the home of a mother and her 4-year-old daughter.
So I knocked on the door, and a little kid answered the door. Her mom came to the door, and my intentions was to rape her. I couldn't go through with it, but I'd already gone too far. If I killed them, 'em, nobody would never know. And so I cut their throats. I cut both of their throats.
All
I've
bad.
never believed in the death penalty myself, and I've always been against it, and I probably still am. But when I think about what you do, I begin to understand why people feel it should be the appropriate sentence for crimes like yours. Do you understand that?
Spring, open 206.
Mr. Bear, what's happened, if I may ask, to your eye?
Things occurred and just situation happens with, not anticipating and expecting, and something like this took place.
Everybody on this row has been convicted of murder.
Yes.
Of one kind or another. But you are discriminated against. For what? Because of what you did.
You heard it when you came in. Baby killer, and all the ranting and raving, and the constant being called Susie, and being attacked, and having urine squirted on you, and having spit in, and having dope, drugs, and chemicals put in your food, having semen put in your food, having bleach put in your food. That's not good. You have to understand that when you have bleach put in your food, you're not liked. Being called a baby raper from the guy who lives directly below me, and then having people believe that I'm a baby raper, in which I promised you on all that I love, I'm not a baby raper. I killed a mother and her child. Due to this situation, I'll probably have to live the rest of my life in isolation.
You think?
Because I know...
He said, I'll probably have to live the rest of my life in isolation. There's no probably to it. I can guarantee you he has to live the rest of his life right there in isolation. Whether you are a baby graper or not, you are... He admitted that he sliced the baby's throat. He's a baby killer. A 4-year-old girl and her mother sliced both of their throats. Yeah, you're going through hell. Yeah, they putting semen in your food and everything else. Yeah, they want you out of here. They want you out of here, buddy. They don't want the state to do it, like the dude said earlier. They want to get this dude. Of course, knock it off.
Population, I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
How do you manage to cope with such rampant hostility?
It seemed like sometimes death would be a better relief. Excuse me.
Yeah. And this is why I say you can't look at the beginning. You have to look at the end also. You commit certain crimes, then yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're going to come for you, and that's just the bottom line. You'll never be able to live certain crimes down, ever. You'll have to pay the price for that, and that's just the bottom line, and that's what's going on here. He's suffering. He's being tortured. But look at his crime. No one is going to forgive him for this. No one has any mercy for him on this. He said that he would rather die. That what he's going through, essentially, then is worse than death. All bad. Better think about what you do before you do it. Have lifelong consequences, bro. Lifelong consequences. All of our actions.
Lockdown is finally over. After 5 weeks. The prison believes it has dealt with the flow of drugs. For now. Convicts who had been confined to their cells for 24 hours a day were now free to go out into the fresh air, if only for a short time.
Excuse me?
headed off to see a prisoner who may well have faced the death penalty had he not been a child when he killed 2 people. Instead, Ronald Sanford is serving a sentence of 170 years. I'll never
It's over.
forget our first meeting 5 years ago.
I've never been to the prom. I've never driven a car. I've never had a driver's license. I've never filed tax returns. I've never been on an airplane. I've never traveled abroad. Yeah, should I continue? My life has been lived in this prison, and it seems as though I've been in this prison so long that I've never been free.
Mr. Stanford,
Good afternoon.
I still see you have all your books.
Well, I have some of them.
Yeah.
Reading is my livelihood for the most part, you know. It's something to put your mind to, you know. So to read and write, you know, you have to apply yourself. You can lay down and watch TV all day. And that's how you be.
I remember you had all these
sayings, yes.
sayings on
right
your
here.
no,
Sir.
your
And
other
that's
cell
what
when I saw you there.
Mandela said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
From Robben Island.
Madiba, yes.
He spent 26 years on Robben Island. Hero of yours.
Yeah.
I did the first interview when he came out from Robben Island. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Grab a chair. Yeah. Have a seat. Yeah.
Yeah. I find it extremely difficult to imagine you're coming into this prison at the tender age of 15.
20, 30, 40, all in prison. Yes, sir.
Do you reflect on the event that got you here, the crime that got you here?
Of course.
I think about my crime every day in some manner. It's unshakable. You'll never get away from it. And I think about it all the time. You know? I don't talk about it because I don't talk about it.
5 years ago, he explained to me how he came to murder 2 of his neighbors.
Me and a friend had basically planned to get money to go to a fair. And to do so, we were gonna cut grass. And we went to a home basically, and they said they didn't want their grass cut. And rather than continue on the vein and go to the next home, we decided to push into the home, essentially.
Ronald Sanford was 13 years old in 1987. Police say Sanford tortured, beat, and then brutally stabbed 83-year-old Anna Harris and 87-year-old Julia Belmar countless times. Tonight, the deputy prosecutor said Sanford's lengthy criminal record indicates he's beyond rehabilitation.
I take the point that you don't talk about it very much, but what happened to you that day?
I was actually home alone. My mom had actually left me and went out of town with her boyfriend and left me home alone that day.
And?
The crime happened.
You say your mother had been out of town.
I don't know how the prosecutor can say someone that is 15, because he was 15 at the time I'm confused. He was 13 when the crime happened, they said, and 15, I guess, when he was sentenced. But the prosecutor said that his lengthy criminal record, his criminal past, that he cannot be rehabilitated. Damn, at 15? He had a lengthy criminal record at 15? Or at 13 when he was arrested? But this crime right here is, an 83-year-old woman and an 87-year-old woman, I believe they said, that he, unalived, brutally, stabbed up viciously, trying to cut their grass or where the fuck. Yeah, that's all bad, man.
But with her boyfriend, do you in any way blame her absence?
No, I don't blame my mom. Yeah. My mom did the best she could, with what she had to raise her children, My mom was an alcoholic on welfare, She had many suitors. She was violent in her parenting, and she used the tools that she had as a parent. And I really feel that I was trained to kill.
You think you were trained to kill?
Yes, sir.
How so?
My mother was a very violent person.
How does that transfer from
Right.
the mother's behavior
To a double
to a
homicide.
13-year-old
Yeah.
and a double homicide?
It's easy to get to the violence if you've already been in the gas. You know, you've been in the violence. It's easy to be violent. Children become what they see. They mimic the examples that they follow. Often, my mother was fond of saying, "You do what I do, you do what I say, and not what I do." Well, you should tell your child.
He said that he does not blame his mother, but I get the feeling that he does. He paused for some time when he asked him that question, and he laughed, and then he finally said, "No, I don't blame my mother." But he was asked that question because of what he said prior to that, which is that she left me alone. She left me alone. You know, like, imagine that, like, left me alone. That's when he said, "Well, do you blame your mother?" Because he got that feeling too, just from the way he said that. And then since he said, "No, I do not blame my mother," he's went on to say that it was easy for him to be violent because his mother was violent. I'm not saying that he's wrong because you are a product of your environment. I'm just saying that, you know, I think he blames his mother or, you know, holds her accountable, maybe not for, she did not put the knife in her hand or his hand and make him do this. Of course, I get it, but it seems like he has some sort of animus towards her. I shouldn't say animus, but he has, you know, he blames her to some extent for him being so prone to violence so easily. Say that.
You do what I say and you do what I do. Because I don't think you would want your child to see you do some stuff that you wouldn't want them to mimic.
How's your mother doing now?
Yeah. My mother, of course, has gotten older, you know, and she's thankfully well. Over the years, my mom has been the person who has been there for me. And in fact, my mom is due to visit here tomorrow. You know, she I can't wait to see my mom.
Listen, you've always been terribly good and frank with us. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Such a Trevor. Outside of the place. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Oh, wow.
Last year, across the United States, 23 men were executed.
Damn.
At Indiana State Prison, 11 men await their execution date. After 35 days in lockdown, they've been released from their cells. They can now have 4 hours of recreation a day. They are unshackled and free to walk within the confines of death row. During this time, the area is off limits to prison staff and visitors.
So you're off lockdown now?
Oh, yeah. They're gonna let us out for rec so people can call their families because the dudes ain't talked to their families in about a month, right?
Is Mr. Bear going to come down here with you guys?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Because he'd be attacked. He'd be killed.
He's that unpopular.
Yeah.
But why?
He's got dudes' cell phones taken from them. He's told on everybody.
So it's more about his conduct.
Absolutely.
And
Listen,
not
listen.
what he did.
Listen, what he did was terrible, and I don't condone it. It's horrible to attack a woman and child. I don't give a shit about that. It's how you conduct yourself in here and what you've done in here, what brought these repercussions on you. I mean, I've already attacked him once and beat him half to death. He's been beat up 4 or 5 times, you know. He broke his arm, you know.
Why did you attack him?
Because he accused me of stealing something from him, right? I don't steal. When you accuse somebody of stealing something, you gotta face those consequences. Well, I gotta go, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys be safe.
Yeah.
One prisoner no longer worries about getting into trouble on death row. He's not here anymore. Paul McManus killed 3 members of his family. He spent 13 years on death row, but on appeal, his sentence was reduced to life without parole. It was judged that he was mentally unfit to stand trial at his original hearing.
The last time we were here, the only time you came out this way,
Killed 3 members of his own family.
Insulin.
your insulin jabs.
Yeah.
And do you
Wow.
have to do that now?
No.
Well, how do you account for the change? Why not?
Well, I just eat better.
Right. So the diet
Yeah.
on death row was tied up with your needing that injection every day.
Right. Well, you sit around and you eat chips and drink soft drinks so much because you don't really worry about the size that you get or the way you feel or, stuff like that.
Yeah. Tell me about the moment you heard that you were coming off death row and that you were going to be put in general population.
I had mixed emotions because I don't know, when you're on the road, you have 30 days before you're executed. You get to say goodbye to your family and your friends and you get to spend time with the people that you care about. And here now, I'll die and I won't get to say nothing.
It's strange to hear someone talking about death in a death chamber as being preferable to living with the uncertainty of this rather well-structured freedom, as it were.
If I could go back today, I would. If they said you got 30 days, I'd say, okay.
Does that mean that you're not enjoying
Oh, no.
the freedom of general population?
No, I'm not enjoying this at all. This is punishment. It really is. People don't realize that, but it really is. It's worse to spend the rest of your life in prison. I'm guilty as can be for the crime I committed. It hurts me every day.
Yes.
I have to live with it, that I took 3 people's lives. They're no longer here because of me.
On the morning of February 26, 2001, McManus found out that his wife had filed for divorce. That evening, he killed her and their 2 children, Lindsay and Shelby.
After the
Damn,
murder,
man.
he drove to the Twin Bridges.
This is what fucking kills me, man. Fuck. These people are fuck, bro. Why kill the kids? Why? It's fucking. I don't get this shit, man. They do this shit all the fucking time, bro. Why you kill the kids, man? What do they have to do with anything, man? Fuck. Your own kids. Any kids, though. Fucking crazy, man.
And jumped from the top.
Yeah, I can see him. Oh my God, he just jumped.
He was pulled from the frigid February waters and went on trial a year later.
I jumped 17 stories to end my life that night. But for some reason, I'm here. I don't know why. I was trying to kill us all. We'd all be together in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Since I last saw you,
You going to heaven too, huh?
It's tattoos, so you have a tattoo.
Well, I did it for the 3 people that I killed. It's not, I'm proud of them. I cry so much that I don't cry anymore. The way I look in the mirror,
Do you see
shaving,
this?
brushing my teeth or whatever, I will see that.
Nah, man. That's not why.
Here.
We all know that you get a teardrop traditionally in the prison culture, gang culture, whatever, for each person that you've unalived. The teardrop represents each person that you've unalived. So he's gotten 3 teardrops, and he acknowledged that that's what they represent, the 3 people that he unalived. But he said he got it as a reminder when he's brushing his teeth or whatever. Man, you should be reminded of that all day, every day anyway. This was your wife and your children. You need the teardrops to remind you. It's like you bragging about it or something. It's like you don't give a fuck getting these teardrops. That's what that is. That shit is sick. This sick. It's sick. This sick, bro. Getting teardrops about killing your kids and your wife, that's sick, period.
If McManus is to be believed, he faces an even harsher punishment than execution. Decades of time living with the darkest memories of his horrendous crimes.
Man, he don't give a fuck. That's why he got the tattoos, bro. He don't give a fuck. That he killed his fucking kids. Sick motherfucker.
Unavailability of the drugs required for executions has led some death row prisoners here to hope that they too may never be put to death. Such a hope might be premature. This grey building in a quiet corner of the prison houses a brand new death chamber.
Damn.
That would suggest that Indiana is not about to abolish the death penalty. Bill Wilson, the warden when I was last here, has had a role in many executions.
And this is where somebody's life will end.
Yes, some of the nice parts about this new building is that we have better viewing arrangements for the family members and over here for the offender's family.
So they're separated.
And they are separated.
The paradox is new building, new execution chamber, but nobody has been executed here for 8 years.
That is correct. Society isn't sure where it stands with the death penalty, and the movement has been to make sure that it's very difficult to secure the drugs necessary to carry out the execution humanely.
Put more starkly, the drug manufacturers don't want to be associated with something that kills people.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Their intent was for medical purposes, and they don't see this as a medical procedure.
Yeah. Might they bring back the electric chair or something?
Absolutely not. Any of us that have ever had an opportunity to be a part of that process would, I think, defend against that.
So we may be on the brink of a tremendous change in the way things were.
I think in the state of Indiana, we are on that brink of possible change. I think as a country, I think that at some point, every state will be faced with the same challenges and decisions that Indiana's in the process of making, yes.
They're being spared for now. No more death row right now. They're being spared for right now.
Away from death row, the great majority of men in this prison will be well over the age of 70 before they're released. The oldest man I met last time still works in the prison barbershop. Rick Parrish was 67 when we spoke before. He's been working here for 42 years.
Damn.
It's neutral territory for gangs, for officers. I mean, if you come to the barbershop and you're a gang member, would you start trouble with a guy that's standing here with a pair of shears in his hand like this?
No, I wouldn't. I suspect not, too.
That's why there's no trouble in here.
Hello, Rick. How are you today?
Good to see you. I'm all
Good
right.
to see you. Good to see you again. How's work in the barbershop?
Well, you know, we've been down for 5 weeks, so everybody's brother wants a haircut.
In the lockdown?
Yeah, the shop's messed up. I got a mop clean this weekend because it's in bad shape.
Remember you had pictures on the wall last time?
Yeah,
You still have them?
I put you on the wall.
Am I on the wall?
There and there.
The images on this wall catalogue Parrish's life since he came to Indiana State Prison. He was convicted of armed burglary and the kidnapping of a mother and 2 children. He was given 3 life sentences. Surely a death sentence in all but name.
All the pictures here, you have it on, mounted on cardboard.
Yeah, it's on cardboard, so if I ever get out, I can take it with me as a reminder. You don't want to go back.
When I saw you last, you did talk about the possibility of a life on the outside.
That's not going to happen. I'm 72 going on 73. I got 42 years in here. You know, that's not going to happen. You just have to face reality.
It must be tough to resign yourself to ending your years
Oh, yeah.
in prison.
We just lost 2 guys last week. We lost 3 because one of them died over in our cell house of a heart attack.
Those people who died, were they old people?
Yeah, yeah. They're right around my age.
Around the 70s?
Yeah. Most of them that's died recently are younger than me.
If I remember, you constructed this board in this way so that when you left, you could take it with you.
Yeah, yeah. But everybody says, well, what are you going to do with it if you don't leave?
I mean, think about that. That is bananas. That's crazy. 42 years in there. 42 years in the same prison. That's not like California either. You going from prison to prison, a lot. You stay in one prison for some years, but it's like 42 years? No. But they probably don't have as many prisons out there in Indiana. I don't know, but 42 years there, 42 years, and it's but the same job in the prison, at the barbershop, 42 years. What the hell? This is crazy.
You're there and they can deal with it. I don't care. When you're dead, you're dead. You can't take it with you.
It's good seeing you again, Rick.
Yeah, you too. Been 5 years.
5 years.
Somebody told me last time I talked to him that you was 5 years older than me.
I think that's probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you look in good shape.
I'm gonna be all right.
Years after Rick Parrish's conviction, the criminal code changed, allowing for lighter sentences. That means he would have been a free man today. Instead, Rick Parrish knows he'll probably die in this place. My visit to this prison was nearly at an end. The 5-week lockdown played havoc with prison routine and family visits. Now that it's been lifted, Ronald Sanford can see his mother Pamela again. She was only a limited presence in his childhood, but for some 28 years, she's been his only regular visitor.
That's a lot of love coming from moms, boy. That's love.
I'm gonna come around in front.
Your mother, does she talk a lot about her life when she comes to see you like this?
Well, we just talk about general stuff. My mom made a change in her life in the 90s. She used to be alcoholic. She hasn't had a drink since 92. She's a different person now than she was when she was raising me. Yes. And she's a parent. To see where my mom came from, to see who she is now, it's just, oh man, I couldn't be more proud of her.
There you go.
What subjects do you avoid talking about when you see your son?
The murder itself. Why did it occur? And we never talk about that.
Ronald said to us he thinks of his early life as having been a training for murder. It's an extraordinary thing to say.
Wow. I've never heard that.
No.
Before.
Right. Fuck, man. That's what I was even saying when he's saying, why are you telling her this shit? Why are you telling moms this, man? If he wanted his moms to know that he's talking to you, giving you an interview, yeah, she's going to see it or whatever. But you see, she looks hurt. Even if it's true, what good is going to come of her knowing this? Basically, that he blames her. This is what this dude wants to. We talked to him and he said that his childhood was a training ground for murder. Damn, man. Mom's is hurt. She been there for him for all this time, though. She been his only regular visitor for 28 years. So whatever her shortcomings may have been early on in life as a young parent, we all need a chance to to mature and grow as human beings. She's a different person now and has overcome those things. As he said, hasn't had a drink since 1992. So he has a certain different, and he said that he's proud of her. You can see the pride on his face. You know, they have a different relationship now. This just didn't need to be interjected in there, as far as I'm concerned.
I imagine if that's the way he felt, then that's what it was. I didn't see that. No, of course, you know, even the night that the murder occurred, we sat, myself and him, we sat on the back of my Cadillac and watched the forensic people and everybody bring the bodies out and everything, because it was next door to where we lived. And I looked at him and there was nothing there that made me know that he was the one. Nothing. So I had no clue ever that, you know, my lifestyle trained him up to be a murderer. I never knew that. Never thought that.
The shock of hearing that your son had been sentenced to a prison term of 170 years must have been immense.
I was crying so bad. It's like a horrible rainstorm. When the rain is coming down so hard you can't see, you have to pull over. That's how my tears were. It was hard, very hard.
And that's why this dude didn't have to say that to moms. You know.
You may never see him outside again.
I used to think that, yes. But now I don't think that. No, I've prayed and asked the Lord to bring him out of here. So he's coming. He's coming home real soon.
A mother's love and a mother's faith, boy. She prayed to the Lord, so she say he coming just because she prayed to the Lord.
Of such length would probably not be given today. Recently, the U.S. Supreme Court compelled states like Indiana to decide whether it's right to punish juveniles as though they were adults.
Okay, so where'd you get the hair from?
I said I wasn't gonna cut my hair until I got out of prison.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's gonna still be short, because it ain't gonna be long.
That means for those like Sanford, who were mere children
That's right.
who committed murder,
Hang in there, moms. Have faith. Believe in them. That's crazy. They behind the glass. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like to learn about different prisons, different states. You know, you getting contact visits in California. You know, you getting contact visits with your mother and all that. You, right there next to you. You can touch her, hug her, play dominoes, eat. All of this stuff. Even if you got 10 life sentences. I don't know about death row. But on the main line, yeah, and they on the main line. And they still behind this glass. That's crazy.
On my final day at the prison, I requested to see one of its most notorious inmates again. But this time away from his death row cell.
108.
William Clyde Gibson is the only serial killer here. His murder of 3 women drew statewide attention.
Well, I don't know how he's the only serial killer.
Gibson was arrested in April 2012
because he killed 3 people.
After the discovery of 75-year-old Christine Whitus dead in his garage.
Even though he said that he's responsible for many more deaths or whatever, it looks like he was only found guilty of 3 of them. So they're saying he's the only Indiana serial killer that's on death row. But hell, we just saw the other dude that's not even on death row anymore that was guilty of killing his wife and his 2 children. He killed 3 people. Is he a serial killer?
Police say he strangled and sexually assaulted her
Look.
and cut off her breast.
Damn.
Prosecutors argued Gibson lured her to his New Albany home to talk about his mother's recent death.
Look how the police was right there smiling at him. This is what they do with these kind of killers, these white killers, these serial killers. They take them and get some McDonald's and a soda, bro. Right there smiling at him. This man that just, you know, brutally, obviously, unalived this woman, cut off her breast. After he unalived, I mean, a sicko. He right here smiling and having a conversation with him. It's because it's just regular program to these people. They relate to this sort of stuff.
He and Whitus were best friends. They found the body of missing Charlestown woman Stephanie Kirk in Gibson's backyard. Medical experts determined Kirk had suffered a broken back, and detectives say she was strangled to death by Gibson. They also charged him with a decade-old cold case. Karen Hadella washed up on the banks of the Ohio River near Clarksville in 2002.
A broken
Police
back.
say they're looking into other missing persons
Damn.
cases right now, and they say it's possible there could be more bodies out there.
It raises the question, how did someone described by his neighbors as a kindly, church-going man become a multiple murderer?
Mr. Gibson, thank you very much for agreeing to talk to us. Please have a seat. You grew up in New Albany in this state. What was your childhood like?
Like everybody else's. I had a good childhood. I mean, everybody thinks when you do the type of stuff I done, cutting them up and, you know, all that kind of egregious stuff, they think automatically, for some reason, that it's because you had a bad childhood, you were molested, or you asked you if you started fires and all this stuff. I didn't do none of that.
You didn't?
No. Had a perfectly normal childhood.
The first woman you killed was Karen Hadella, a 44-year-old woman who you had never met. Why did you kill her?
And I'm glad he said that, because a lot of people do, you know, go back to their childhood about certain things, and there's some authenticity to that, depending on what happened in your childhood. But there are also situations where you don't have to go back to your childhood. Sometimes, just as an adult, you're not footing it. As he said, there was nothing wrong with his childhood, but as an adult, he just went fucking ballistic, obviously.
Just felt like it. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have to have a reason.
And then you killed somebody who was a friend of your family, your mother's friend.
Yeah.
Christine Whittis.
She caught me cutting up another one. So, and then she told me she was gonna call the police.
How did you kill her?
Strangle her.
Just trying to discover whether there's any part of your mind, any part of your, I use the word loosely, humanity, which says that this is appalling.
Yeah, I don't believe I got any of that. Humanity.
Damn, he said he ain't got none of it. At least he know that he ain't got no humanity.
I don't think I do.
Zero humanity.
You have no remorse at all about any of the people you murdered?
It just don't seem to affect me. I mean, I could kill a person and just go out to dinner. I wouldn't care. The only time I ever got any kind of feeling about it at all was the rush I got when I was doing it. I mean, you know.
You got an adrenaline rush from killing people?
I guess it was more than that, too. I mean, I got a kick out of cutting them up. I mean.
You get a kick out of cutting them up?
Yeah. Seemed like after the first one, it just got good to me, you know? At first, I was kind of nervous about it, but then after the first one, it was like, it wasn't just women. I mean, there was men too. I just didn't find none of them. I didn't tell them about none of them, so, you know.
So you killed a greater number of people than the police know?
Well, we don't know if this is true or not. He could just be saying that to try to justify the fact that he's found guilty of just unaliving women. So he said that's why he wants to throw that in there. It wasn't just women. There was some men too. I just didn't tell the police about that. They ain't found out about that. Okay, well, they found out about the women. We know about the women. He, as you just heard, said that he enjoyed cutting them up. He got a kick out of it. After the first time, it just became natural to him. He enjoyed it. He got fun out of this. This is how these people think.
Yeah. They might have a tenth of it. I'll put it that way.
So you may have killed 29, 30 people?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Are you
Look at
prepared
him.
now to tell the authorities where those bodies are buried?
No.
You never will.
Mm-mm. I'm not going through all that court stuff. Just not gonna do it.
Do you feel any sense of remorse?
I've done a lot of bad shit. I'm right where I belong. Believe me, they don't want me out. Get me home, bitch.
At least he know it. At least he know he's still a killer. He said he's right where he belongs.
I was left numb with the shock of listening to Gibson's confessions to his crimes, delivered so casually and punctuated with that unnerving chuckle. William Clive Gibson's crimes explain more clearly than I could ever do why many Americans support the death penalty. As for me, I will not easily forget the men I met at Indiana State Prison. Their faces, their life stories, and the crimes they committed.
Damn. That's crazy, man. All right, man, some deep shit there, man. That's Indiana State Maximum Security Prison. Individuals on death row, as we can see, some of them are accused and have been found guilty of and admitted to some dastardly crimes, some reprehensible crimes, unforgivable crimes, crimes against children, crimes against women. In fact, all of them had crimes against women. Really cowardly acts. I mean, the one dude keeps getting beat up, sliced the woman's throat and her 4-year-old daughter's throat, 2 women. The other dude, the wife filed for divorce. He killed her and his 2 children. And then this last dude, Gibson, he claims he unalived men as well, but they know about women, and you've been found guilty for unaliving women. That's all we know. So I don't know, man, these dudes, but they suffering there on death row. They're waiting to be executed, as we can see. And apparently these manufacturers are refusing to send the drugs to the prison that will take these individuals' lives. So they're having a second chance at life, at least momentarily, until the situation is straightened out or rectified, however it will be. But for right now, they can breathe. But if they ever change their minds and send that medication, as we can see, it's 11 of them there on death row, and they're waiting to be executed. Some of them, as we can see, have some rather serious crimes that I'm sure many of you will say they deserve to be there on death row. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do they deserve to be on death row? Can people like this be rehabilitated? Should they have another chance at life? What do you think? Heart-wrenching stuff, though. Stay free, people.